A day in the life of a medieval barber. Welcome, dear viewer, to an immersive journey back in time, a journey that will take you through the bustling streets of a medieval village and into the world of a profession that was as vibrant and multifaceted as it was essential, the medieval barber. As you settle into your favorite cozy corner, let the gentle sounds of medieval melodies play softly in the background and imagine the rhythmic clatter of wooden carts on cobblestone streets. Today, you will step into the shoes of a barber, a figure whose role extended far beyond mere grooming, touching upon the very essence of community life. Picture yourself in the early hours of a medieval morning. The sun is just peeking over the thatched rooftops, casting a golden hue across the village square. The air is crisp, carrying with it the earthy aroma of dew-kissed flowers and fresh bread from the local baker's oven. As you prepare to begin your day, the village slowly stirs to life around you. People are gathering their wares, merchants are setting up their stalls, and the faint echoes of church bells resonate through the air, calling the faithful to morning prayer. Your shop, nestled between the apothecary and the cobbler, is a modest yet welcoming space. The door creaks open as you step inside, where the familiar scent of sandalwood and lavender fills the air, mingling with the rich smells of your trade. The walls are adorned with an array of tools. Scissors, razors, and combs gleam in the morning light, alongside bloodletting bowls and leech jars, telling the story of the diverse skills you possess as a barber surgeon. In medieval times, a barber was more than just a hair cutter. You were a custodian of both style and health, offering services that ranged from haircuts and beard trims to bloodletting, tooth extractions, and minor surgeries. It was a profession that required steady hands and a keen eye, honed over years of apprenticeship under a master barber. As you arrange your tools and prepare for the day, you can hear the murmur of voices growing louder outside. The sound of horses' hooves clattering against the stone, the chatter of villagers exchanging gossip and news. Each day brings a fresh page to the vibrant story of village life, and you, as the barber, are at its very heart. Your shop is more than a place of work. It is a gathering spot for stories, advice, and companionship. The first customer of the day arrives, a farmer who greets you with a warm smile and a firm handshake. He's here for a haircut and a shave, eager to look his best for the upcoming market day. As you skillfully trim his hair, you engage in friendly banter, sharing tales of the harvest and news from the neighboring towns. For many, a visit to the barber is as much about social connection as it is about appearance. Your next customer is an elderly woman who hobbles in with the aid of a wooden cane. She's feeling unwell and has come to you for bloodletting, a common medical practice of the time believed to balance the body's humors and restore health. With practiced precision, you apply leeches to her arm, carefully monitoring her condition throughout the procedure. In these moments, your role shifts from barber to healer, a trusted figure of medical knowledge in a world where doctors are scarce and far between. As the morning unfolds, your shop sees a steady stream of villagers, each with their own needs and stories. A young squire arrives, eager to look his finest before a meeting with his lord. A merchant seeks your advice on a persistent toothache, and you deftly prepare your extraction tools, ready to perform the delicate procedure. The day continues in a rhythm of shearing and shaving, of stitching and scrubbing, punctuated by the laughter and camaraderie of your patrons. In each interaction, you are reminded of the unique position you hold in the community: a confidant, a craftsman, a healer. Your work requires a delicate balance of skill and empathy as you navigate the intricacies of medieval life with the wisdom passed down through generations. As the sun begins its descent, casting long shadows across the village, you take a moment to pause and admire the bustling life outside your shop. The market stalls are packed away, and families gather in the square, their laughter mingling with the distant call of the evening bell. Your day winds down with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that your work has touched the lives of those around you in meaningful ways. In this medieval world, being a barber is more than a profession. It is a calling that intertwines artistry with medicine, where the mastery of your craft can bring both beauty and relief to those who seek your services. As you close your shop for the night, extinguishing the candles and locking the door, You carry with you the stories and gratitude of your patrons, an enduring testament to the vital role you play in their lives. And so, dear viewer, our glimpse into the life of a medieval barber draws to a serene close. As you transition back to the present, let the echoes of the past linger a little longer, carrying with them the essence of a time where the barber's shop was a cornerstone of community spirit. Thank you for joining this journey with us today. And until next time, may the gentle winds of history continue to inspire and enlighten. Awaiting continue. A day in the life of a medieval barber. As the sun begins to peek over the horizon, casting a gentle golden hue upon the cobblestone streets of your little medieval town, you rise from your modest straw-filled bed. The air is crisp and carries a faint aroma of blooming wildflowers from the fields beyond the town's walls. Today, like every other day, promises to be one filled with a diverse array of tasks, each demanding a different set of skills that you, the medieval barber, have honed over the years. You make your way to your shop, a humble yet bustling hub of activity nestled in the heart of the town's marketplace. The shop is simple, with wooden beams and a thatched roof that creaks with the gentle morning breeze. Inside, the scent of freshly ground herbs mingles with the faint metallic tang of well-worn tools, meticulously kept in their places on a sturdy wooden table. Your day as a medieval barber is about to begin, and as you open the shop's creaky wooden door, you are greeted by the sight of a few early bird customers already lined up outside. There's a palpable sense of anticipation in the air, for a visit to the barber is not merely about grooming. It's an opportunity for socializing and catching up on the latest local gossip. First up is a familiar face, a local merchant who visits you regularly for a shave and some companionship. As you drape a well-worn linen cloth around his shoulders, the two of you exchange pleasantries. Your razor gleams in the morning light as you begin the delicate task of shaving his stubble. A steady hand is essential, and as you expertly glide the blade across his jawline, your mind drifts to the countless times you've performed this very task, each one just as important as the last. With the merchant now sporting a clean shave and a satisfied smile, it's time to turn your attention to new challenges. Next in line is a farmer whose rugged hands and sun-kissed skin speak volumes of a life spent in the fields. Today, he needs more than just a haircut. He's troubled by a persistent toothache, and as the town's resident barber surgeon, you're expected to come to his aid. In those times, dentistry was a part of the barber's repertoire. With a reassuring nod to the farmer, you prepare your equipment for the makeshift dental procedure. The tools are rudimentary by modern standards, pliers for extraction and various herbal concoctions for pain relief, but they are the best available in this era. As you work to alleviate his discomfort, you offer calming words, knowing well that a gentle demeanor can ease the tension of even the most daunting situations. Afterward, you take a moment to clean your tools in boiling water, ensuring they are ready for the next task. The importance of cleanliness isn't lost on you, despite the era's limited understanding of hygiene. The day continues, and your shop remains a vibrant hive of activity. A young squire enters, needing a haircut before he sets off to join his lord on a campaign. You oblige, skillfully layering his hair with precision and care, all while listening to tales of knights and chivalry that set your imagination ablaze. As the sun reaches its zenith, casting bright patterns through the shop's windows, you take a brief respite. You sit back and enjoy a modest meal, some bread and cheese paired with a cup of ale. It's a chance to recharge, to reflect on the morning's work, and to prepare for the afternoon ahead. Your afternoon clientele includes a variety of townsfolk, men seeking a trim, women hoping for a new hairstyle, and even children who find both fear and fascination in your sharp instruments. You switch hats effortlessly, from hairstylist to surgeon, from confidant to entertainer, each role as important as the next in your community. As the day winds down and the light begins to wane, you find yourself alone once more. The shop is quiet now, and you take a moment to tidy up, sweeping hair trimmings into a pile and ensuring your tools are clean and ready for tomorrow. The sense of satisfaction from a day of hard work fills you, knowing you have helped your neighbors in small yet meaningful ways. Finally, as the sky turns to twilight, you step outside into the cool evening air. The townspeople are heading home, their chatter and laughter echoing through the narrow streets. You too make your way back, the day's memories lingering with you like a comforting cloak. As you prepare to rest, you reflect on the fulfilling role you play within this medieval tapestry of life. The barber is more than just a tradesperson. You're a vital part of the community, a guardian of health, a purveyor of news, and a friend to many. This is your world, your time, and as the night falls, you can rest with the knowledge that tomorrow brings another opportunity to serve and connect with the people around you. With the stars sparkling overhead, you drift off to sleep, ready to embrace whatever the new day will bring. Awaiting continue. The barber's role in health and surgery. As you delve deeper into the daily life of a medieval barber, picture yourself stepping into a bustling medieval town square, where the sounds of market traders calling out their wares mingle with the chatter of townsfolk. It's a vivid scene, isn't it? Now imagine turning towards a modest storefront adorned with a curious red and white pole. This is where you'll find the barber at work. However, in the medieval world, your experience with the barber would go far beyond a simple haircut or shave. During the medieval era, the barber's shop served as a hub for an array of health-related services, far exceeding the scope of a modern-day stylist. As you enter this establishment, the atmosphere is a curious blend of clinical and convivial. The barber, clad in a practical apron, nods at you from behind an array of tools laid upon a wooden table. These are not just for trimming hair, but are a testament to the barber's role as a medical practitioner. Barbers in medieval times often doubled as surgeons, a reflection of their broad skill set and the limited availability of formally trained medical professionals. The barber surgeon was a respected figure, trusted with tasks that ranged from setting broken bones to performing minor surgeries. The lack of formal medical training did not deter these practitioners. Instead, experience and an intuitive understanding of human anatomy guided their hands. Imagine the barber's shop as a place where townspeople would come, seeking relief from a variety of ailments. Perhaps you're a farmer, plagued with an infected wound from a recent accident. The barber surgeon might carefully clean and dress your wound, perhaps even extract a lodged arrow if you'd been unfortunate enough to encounter trouble on the road. Barbers were also adept at performing bloodletting, a common medical practice of the time that was believed to balance bodily humors and cure illnesses. Visualize the barber tying a tourniquet around your arm with practiced ease, using a special phlegm to create a small incision. The blood flows into a basin, and as the barber works, he might engage you in light conversation, distracting you from any discomfort. It's fascinating to consider the duality of the barber's role, part healer, part craftsman. The tools of the trade were versatile, designed to serve in both haircutting and medical procedures. Scissors became instruments of precision, razors were sharpened to a fine edge, and small knives were utilized in surgical tasks. The barber's chair itself, solid and wooden, was a place for grooming and healing alike. The barber's expertise was not limited to tangible, physical ailments. They were also sought after for dental work, including the extraction of troublesome teeth. Imagine the courage it would take to sit in that chair, trusting the steady hands and keen eye of the barber to relieve you of an aching tooth. Without the modern comforts of anesthesia, it was a raw experience, the kind that fostered a deep level of trust between barber and client. In many ways, the medieval barber was a precursor to the modern-day physician, serving as the community's first responder to health issues. They were often among the first to be called upon in emergencies, their skill set a precious resource in towns where formal medical practitioners were few and far between. As you continue exploring this multifaceted role, consider how barber training was often a family affair, passed down from one generation to the next. Apprenticeships were common, with young boys learning the trade from their fathers or other experienced barbers. It was a hands-on education, where knowledge was shared through practice and observation, building a foundation of skills that would sustain a lifetime career. The barber's adaptability was key to their enduring presence in medieval society. They needed to be resourceful, employing herbal remedies and poultices when available, and using their keen sense of observation to diagnose ailments. Despite the lack of formal medical education, barbers gained a reputation for their practical wisdom and their ability to provide relief where possible. Picture, if you will, the barber shop as a gathering place, a venue where stories were exchanged and news of the broader world was shared. People would gather not just for grooming and medical care, but for companionship and the warmth of community. The barber, with their steady hands and calming presence, was at the center of this social hub. Reflecting on the barber's role, you might imagine them as a vital link in the chain of community life, their contributions extending far beyond the walls of their shop. They were trusted figures who, with their array of skills and tools, played an essential part in maintaining the health and well-being of the populace. In our modern world, the barber's dual role as a stylist and healer might seem anachronistic, yet it speaks to a time when professions were less rigidly defined and necessity demanded versatility. The medieval barber was, above all, a testament to the resourcefulness and resilience of human ingenuity. As you close this window into the past, you might find a new appreciation for the barbers of today, who, though no longer pulling teeth or setting bones, continue to foster a sense of community and care with every cut and style. Awaiting continue. The rituals of grooming and healing in a medieval barber's shop. As you continue your journey into the world of medieval barbers, imagine stepping into a bustling shop set on the cobblestone streets of a thriving medieval town. The air is filled with the scent of rosemary and lavender, mixed with the more pungent smell of heated metal and leather. This is not just a place for haircuts and shaves. It's a multifaceted hub for personal care, social interaction, and rudimentary medical treatment. The medieval barber, with his skilled hands and sharp tools, occupies a central role in society, far beyond the humble scissors and comb. This section will delve into the fascinating array of services a barber might offer, and the unique experiences of those who visited his shop. Picture the interior of the barber's shop, a small yet bustling space where natural light filters through a high window, casting a warm glow on the polished wooden surfaces. Various tools are meticulously arranged on a shelf, razors with finely honed blades, scissors of differing sizes, and an array of combs crafted from bone or wood. Each tool has been carefully maintained, reflecting the barber's dedication to his craft. In one corner of the shop, a modest yet welcoming chair, often the focal point of the room, awaits the next customer. This chair, with its well-worn leather and sturdy arms, has witnessed countless transformations, from overgrown beards tamed into neat shapes to flowing locks trimmed to fashionable lengths. The chair is more than just a seat. It is a throne of transformation where clients surrender to the skillful hands of the barber. The act of grooming in this era is a ritual, and the barber is its master of ceremonies. A visit to the barber is an opportunity not just to enhance one's appearance, but also to engage in lively conversation and exchange news or gossip of the town. You can almost hear the animated chatter that fills the room, as patrons discuss everything from local politics to far-off wars. The barber, a keen listener, knows much about the people who sit in his chair, and his shop becomes a nexus for the community. Beyond the grooming services, the barber's role as a healer remains ever present. In medieval times, the boundary between grooming and medicine is blurred, and the barber often assumes the responsibility of basic medical care. This dual role is symbolized by the iconic barber pole, its red and white stripes representing the bandages used during bloodletting, a common practice believed to balance the body's humors and restore health. The procedure of bloodletting is a delicate affair, one that requires precision and a steady hand. Imagine the barber, in his simple yet practical attire, preparing for this task with quiet concentration. A small, sharp lancet or fleam is used to open a vein, allowing the blood to flow into a basin. It is a sight that might unsettle the modern observer, yet to the medieval mind, it is a familiar and accepted form of treatment. This practice, alongside tooth extractions and minor surgical procedures, places the barber at the forefront of accessible health care. For those seeking relief from dental pain, the barber is also the go-to practitioner. Equipped with rudimentary dental tools, he performs extractions with a mix of experience and empathy. The procedure, though often painful, offers relief to those suffering from toothaches, a common ailment in an age before modern dentistry. Herbs and homemade remedies are another staple of the barber's shop. Shelves are lined with jars containing dried plants and concoctions prepared from recipes passed down through generations. These natural remedies are applied to soothe skin irritations, treat minor wounds, or simply to add fragrance to the oils used in grooming. The barber's expertise in herbs is complemented by knowledge of astrology, as celestial movements are thought to influence health and well-being. The timing of certain treatments might be determined by the alignment of the stars, adding an element of mysticism to the barber's services. To visit a barber is, in many ways, to step into a world where science and superstition coexist, shaping the everyday experiences of medieval individuals. As you visualize the vibrant life of a medieval barber's shop, imagine the variety of people who frequent this space. From wealthy merchants to humble laborers, all come seeking the barber's skills. The shop, with its diverse clientele, becomes a microcosm of medieval society, reflecting its complexities and hierarchies. Young apprentices, eager to learn the craft, watch closely as the barber works. They assist with cleaning and organizing tools, gradually absorbing the knowledge that will one day allow them to open shops of their own. The journey from apprentice to master is long, yet it promises a respected and fulfilling career. In this exploration of the medieval barber, you come to appreciate not only the practical skills required for the trade, but also the barber's role as a trusted confidant and community figure. His shop is a place where individuals are transformed, where stories are shared, and where the line between artistry and healing is gracefully danced upon. With each snip of the scissors and stroke of the razor, the barber leaves an indelible mark on the lives of those he services, shaping their appearance and tending to their health, one visit at a time. The evolution of the barber's role and legacy. As we delve deeper into the world of medieval barbers, we uncover an intriguing transformation, a metamorphosis, if you will, from simple shearers of hair to multifaceted professionals whose influence left a lasting imprint on history. To truly appreciate the evolution of the barber's role, we must journey through the winding pathways of time, where the barber's identity intermingled with the social, cultural, and medical landscapes of the medieval era. Picture yourself in the vibrant streets of a bustling medieval town. The air is filled with the sounds of merchants haggling, the clatter of horse-drawn carts, and the lively chatter of townsfolk. Amidst this lively tapestry, the barber's shop stands out as a hub of social interaction, a place where stories are exchanged, gossip is shared, and news travels faster than any written letter. As you step into the modest yet lively barber's shop, you're greeted by the familiar scent of tonics and the sight of sharp implements neatly arranged on the workbench. The barber, clad in a simple yet practical apron, welcomes you with a warm smile. His hands, skilled and nimble, are capable of much more than just cutting hair. In this era, the barber is not only a groomer of appearance, but also a practitioner of rudimentary medicine and dentistry, roles that have evolved over centuries of necessity and tradition. The barber's dual function as both stylist and medic is rooted in practicality. During medieval times, physicians were a scarce and expensive luxury, accessible primarily to the wealthy. For the everyday townsfolk, the barber filled a crucial gap, offering services that ranged from pulling teeth and treating minor wounds to bloodletting, a common practice believed to balance bodily humors and maintain health. The barber's steady hands and sharp tools were trusted to deliver relief, albeit with a dose of pain. As you observe the barber's deftness in handling surgical tools, you realize that his skills were honed through a lineage of apprenticeship, learning under the tutelage of more experienced barbers. This tradition of passing down knowledge not only ensured the survival of crucial skills, but also fostered a unique culture within the barbering community, a brotherhood bonded by their shared craft and dedication to their patrons. Interestingly, the barber's role was not confined to the practical and immediate. The cultural significance of the barber is woven into the very fabric of medieval society. Barbers often occupied a unique position, bridging the gap between common folk and the learned classes. Their shops were more than places of grooming. They were centers of communication and exchange, where ideas were shared and debated. In a world where literacy was limited, barbers became unofficial custodians of oral tradition, preserving stories, legends, and news through conversation. As the medieval era progressed, the barber's identity continued to evolve, shaped by changing societal needs and advancements in medical knowledge. The emergence of barber surgeons, a distinct professional group, marked a significant turning point. These individuals were granted more formal training and recognition, allowing them to perform more complex surgical procedures. The separation of the two trades, barbering and surgery, gradually became more pronounced, setting the stage for the eventual establishment of modern medical and dental professions. Despite these changes, the legacy of the medieval barber endures. Their spirit of adaptability, community service, and craftsmanship has transcended time, influencing the evolution of barbershops into modern establishments that continue to serve as sanctuaries of relaxation, conversation, and self-care. Today, when you walk into a barbershop, you are partaking in a tradition steeped in history, where the echoes of medieval barbers resonate in every snip of the scissors and every lather of shaving cream. As you leave the cozy ambiance of the medieval barber's shop and step back into the present, you carry with you a newfound appreciation for the rich tapestry of history that has shaped the simple act of getting a haircut. It's a reminder that beneath the surface of everyday practices lies a world of stories waiting to be uncovered, a world where the humblest of professions can hold the most profound of legacies. Awaiting continue. The barber surgeon's role in medieval community life. As the bustling streets of a medieval town unfurl before your eyes, imagine stepping into the shoes of a barber surgeon, an individual who commanded respect and cultivated trust within the community. Beyond the familiar clinking of scissors and the lathered faces of patrons, the barber's shop was a hub of interaction, a place where stories were exchanged and a sense of camaraderie was fostered. Amidst the chatter and the rhythmic swishing of razors, the barber surgeon carved out a niche that went beyond mere grooming. It was a vocation deeply entwined with the very fabric of medieval life. Picture yourself entering a medieval barber shop. The aroma of herbal concoctions and the warm glow of flickering candlelight welcome you. These small, bustling spaces served as a crossroads where villagers and townsfolk congregated not just to groom and heal, but to socialize and unwind. The barber surgeon, with tools fashioned from iron and steel, practiced an art both revered and indispensable. His duties required a unique blend of precision and compassion, qualities that endeared him to the community he served. In this vibrant milieu, the barber surgeon wore many hats. His duties extended far beyond the application of the razor blade. As you observe, you'll notice him attending to a wide array of needs, setting broken bones, pulling troublesome teeth, and letting blood to balance the humors, a practice believed crucial in maintaining health. Each procedure was carried out with meticulous attention, as the barber surgeon balanced his tools with a steady hand and an unwavering focus. The barber's role as a healer was underscored by a profound understanding of herbal remedies and rudimentary surgical techniques. He often doubled as a pharmacist, concocting salves and potions from an array of medicinal plants, roots, and spices. Picture the shelves lined with jars and vials, each containing ingredients sourced from the surrounding countryside or bustling marketplaces. These concoctions, steeped in age-old wisdom, promised relief to those suffering from maladies that modern medicine has long since demystified. As you delve deeper into the day-to-day life of a medieval barber surgeon, you begin to comprehend the level of trust placed in his hands. In an era when medical knowledge was in its infancy and access to physicians a luxury few could afford, the barber surgeon was often the first and only point of contact for medical care. He traversed the precarious balance between science and superstition, adapting his methods to the evolving understanding of health and disease. His practice, while rudimentary by today's standards, was a cornerstone of medieval healthcare. The barber surgeon's influence extended far beyond the confines of his shop. He was an integral part of the social tapestry, often serving as a confidant, a sounding board for the worries and woes of his clientele. In a time when community NDS were vital to survival, the barber shop emerged as a sanctuary, a place where secrets were shared, advice given, and communal ties strengthened. Imagine the lively discussions echoing within those walls, from local gossip to tales of far-off lands, each story adding to the rich tapestry of village life. Engaging with the barber-surgeon, you begin to appreciate his unique position within the hierarchy of medieval professions. Though not as esteemed as university-trained physicians, his practical skills and accessibility made him indispensable. His work demanded a keen eye for detail, steady hands, and a genuine empathy for those seeking his aid. It was a position that required adaptability, resilience, and a willingness to embrace continual learning, as the barber-surgeon straddled the worlds of medicine and community service. This dual role as both healer and social linchpin was reflected in the barber's involvement in community events. Whether attending fairs, markets, or local gatherings, the barber-surgeon was a familiar presence, his services sought by individuals from all walks of life. His ability to navigate the complex dynamics of medieval society, bridging gaps between different classes and professions, was a testament to the enduring respect he garnered. As you reflect on the intricate tapestry of medieval life, consider the barber-surgeon's contribution beyond the physical acts of healing. His presence within the community was a beacon of support, a reminder of the vital interdependence that defined medieval existence. In a landscape where each individual played a distinct role in the collective well-being, the barber-surgeon was both a symbol of hope and a custodian of communal harmony. So, as you journey through the annals of history, let your imagination linger in the cozy confines of the medieval barber shop. Picture the warm glow of candlelight casting gentle shadows on stone walls, the soft murmur of voices mingling with the rhythmic snip of scissors. Here, amidst the bustle and the banter, the barber-surgeon crafted a legacy that bridged the realms of health and humanity. And now, as our exploration of the medieval barber's world draws to a close, you can appreciate the indelible mark left by these multifaceted artisans. In a time when life was both fragile and vibrant, the barber-surgeon stood as a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of those who navigated the complexities of medieval existence with skill and heart. The barber-surgeon's role in medieval society. Imagine yourself stepping into the bustling streets of a medieval city. The air is filled with the chatter of merchants, the clatter of horse-drawn carts, and the occasional ringing of church bells. Amidst this vibrant tapestry of daily life, you find yourself drawn to a small, unassuming shop, marked by a pole of red and white spirals. This is the realm of the barber-surgeon, a figure both trusted and vital in this era's society. As you enter, the shop is alive with activity. It's a busy scene, with patrons and patients alike seeking the services of the barber-surgeon. The atmosphere carries a blend of sharp aromas, herbs, soaps, and the faint metallic tang of surgical instruments. Here, in this compact yet essential space, the barber-surgeon performs a variety of tasks that extend far beyond the simple haircut. In medieval society, barber-surgeons held a unique place. They were the everyman of healthcare, often the first point of contact for anyone in need of medical attention. While today we might separate the roles of hairstylist and surgeon into distinct professions, back then, these skilled individuals were expected to handle a remarkable range of responsibilities. Picture the barber-surgeon deftly moving between tasks, trimming hair one moment and extracting a troublesome tooth the next. It's astonishing to consider that they were among the few who understood the intricacies of human anatomy, at least to the extent that the era permitted. This knowledge, though limited by today's standards, was hard-won and crucial for survival in a time when medical understanding was more art than science. Now let's delve deeper into the multifaceted role of the barber-surgeon and the societal impact they had during the medieval period. First, consider their function as surgeons. Surgical procedures, as you might imagine, were not the sophisticated operations of today. Instead, they were practical, often brutal affairs, dealing with the types of injuries and ailments most common in medieval life. Barber surgeons performed amputations, treated battlefield wounds, and managed the aftermath of jousting accidents. Surgery was often a last resort, and the tools of the trade, saws, hooks, and scalpels, were rudimentary, requiring a steady hand and a strong stomach. The barber surgeon's expertise wasn't limited to surgeries. They also acted as dentists, something you might find surprising. Picture them carefully extracting decayed teeth, a procedure carried out without the benefit of anesthesia. Yet, in a world where dental hygiene was a luxury, this was a valuable service that could alleviate significant pain and prevent further complications. Beyond these physical procedures, barber surgeons were also involved in bloodletting, a practice rooted in the ancient belief that balancing the body's humors was key to maintaining health. The sight of a patient sitting calmly as the barber surgeon expertly applies a leech or makes a small incision to release a measured amount of blood is a testament to the trust placed in these practitioners. Moreover, they were purveyors of beauty and grooming. Haircuts and shaves were essential services that contributed to personal hygiene and public appearance. They were, in a sense, early influencers of style, shaping the way individuals presented themselves to the world. The skillful use of razors and scissors was not just about aesthetics. It was a mark of civilization, of order amidst the chaos of medieval life. In addition to their diverse practical skills, barber surgeons were repositories of knowledge and experience. They were often among the few literate individuals in their communities, able to read medical texts when available and to document their own observations. This positioned them as informal educators, passing down valuable knowledge to apprentices who would carry on the profession. Socially, barber surgeons occupied a middle ground. They were not esteemed as highly as physicians, who were university educated, but they were respected and accessible to a broader portion of the population. Their shops became social hubs, places where news was exchanged and community bonds strengthened. Imagine the barber surgeon as a confidant, listening to the worries and woes of their clients while their deft hands worked. In this role, they offered not just medical care, but a form of social therapy, a chance to unburden oneself in a trusted space. It's a reminder that healthcare has always been as much about the human connection as it is about the technical procedures. During the medieval period, guilds began to form, and barber surgeons increasingly organized themselves into these professional associations. This was an important development, as it offered a measure of regulation and standardization to their practices. It also provided a network for sharing knowledge and refining skills. As you consider these various roles, it's clear that barber surgeons were more than mere technicians. They were integral to the fabric of medieval life, bridging the gap between the learned physician and the everyday needs of the common people. The legacy of the medieval barber surgeon is a fascinating one. Their contributions to the development of medicine and surgery laid the groundwork for future advancements. They were pioneers in their own right, navigating a world of limited resources and understanding with ingenuity and courage. Imagine stepping back into the medieval marketplace, now with a greater appreciation for the barber surgeon's pivotal role. They've left an indelible mark on history, a testament to the human spirit's adaptability and resilience. So next time you see a barber pole, remember the rich tapestry of history it represents and the remarkable individuals who once stood in its shadow. The evolution and legacy of medieval barbers. As the world around you continues to evolve, you find yourself standing at the cusp of a new era, one where the role of the barber is beginning to change once more. The Middle Ages are gradually giving way to the Renaissance, a period of renewed interest in science, art, and the human body. The barber's shop, once a humble setting for grooming and basic medical care, is now witnessing the dawn of modern medicine and a shift in societal understanding of health and hygiene. Imagine yourself inside a small, bustling barber shop. The familiar smell of oils and herbs fills the air, mingling with the earthy scent of freshly cut hair and the sharp tang of metallic tools. As a medieval barber, you have always worn many hats, but now those hats are beginning to change shape. The barber-surgeon profession is becoming more specialized. You stand at a crossroads where your skill set is both a reflection of past practices and a foundation for future advancements. Picture the scene. A young apprentice stands by your side, eager to learn the trade. You teach them not only the art of shaving and haircutting, but also the basics of wound care and tooth extraction. You explain the importance of cleanliness, a principle that is starting to gain more attention in medical circles. With a steady hand, You demonstrate how to sanitize your tools, a practice that will become increasingly critical in the years to come. As you pass on this knowledge, you reflect on how the role of the barber has been a constant in an ever-changing world. In the Middle Ages, barbers were indispensable members of society, providing essential services in communities large and small. From the grandeur of royal courts to the humble villages scattered across the countryside, barbers were there to serve, adapt, and innovate. Consider the instruments that have defined your trade. The straight razor, a tool of precision and skill, remains a symbol of the barber's craft. But it's not just an instrument of grooming. It's a testament to the artistry and care that barbers have brought to their work. Despite the passage of time, this iconic tool will continue to hold its place in barbershops around the world, a reminder of the enduring legacy of medieval barbers. Now imagine the influence of your profession beyond the confines of the barbershop. As public awareness of medicine and hygiene grows, so too does the respect for the skills you possess. People begin to see barbers not only as groomers and healers, but as contributors to the emerging field of medicine. Your role is evolving, but the essence of what it means to be a barber remains rooted in the dedication to serve and care for others. In this era of transformation, you also observe the changes in societal attitudes towards healthcare. The barber's role in surgery and dentistry is gradually being taken over by physicians and specialists. Yet, the tradition of barbering persists, adapting to the needs of the time. It is this adaptability that has allowed the profession to thrive across centuries, adapting to new technologies and methodologies. As you reflect on the evolution of your work, consider the enduring impact of the medieval barber on modern-day barbering. The meticulous attention to detail, the nurturing of human connection, and the blending of art and science are all hallmarks of a profession that has stood the test of time. The barber's chair, once a place of diverse healing practices, continues to be a sanctuary where people seek not only physical transformation, but also connection and care. The legacy of medieval barbers is etched into the very fabric of history. From the bustling streets of medieval towns to the sophisticated salons of today, the heart of barbering beats strong. This legacy is one of resilience and innovation, a testament to the enduring spirit of a profession that has been an integral part of human society for centuries. As you stand in your shop, surrounded by tools of the trade and the quiet hum of daily life, you are reminded of the journey that barbers have taken through history. It's a journey of growth and change, of tradition and progress. The medieval barber, once a jack of all trades, has left an indelible mark on the world, a mark that continues to inspire the barbers of today and tomorrow. In this moment of reflection, you appreciate the rich tapestry of barbering history and the role you have played in its unfolding story. The barber's legacy is not just a relic of the past, but a living, breathing tradition that continues to evolve and adapt, just as it has for centuries. As you close your shop at the end of another day, you do so with the knowledge that you are part of a timeless lineage, a keeper of a craft that will endure long into the future. The barber's role in community healing and social dynamics. Imagine yourself standing at the threshold of a bustling medieval village, where cobblestone streets weave through clusters of vibrant market stalls, and the rhythmic clip-clop of horse-drawn carts fills the air. Here, within the heart of this lively community, stands the local barber's shop, a hub not only for grooming, but also for an eclectic array of healing practices and social gatherings. As you step inside, a warm waft of aromatic herbs greets you, mingling with the subtle tang of iron. The barber, donned in a simple yet practical tunic, greets each visitor with a nod, embodying a figure of both skill and trust. In medieval times, barbers held a unique position, offering services that went far beyond mere haircuts and shaves. They were key players in the health and social fabric of the community, a role that was as challenging as it was integral. Beyond the chair where locks of hair are expertly snipped, there is a table lined with an assortment of tools, some familiar, others peculiar. Scalpels, leeches, and jars of concoctions hint at the barber's dual role as a surgeon and healer. In the absence of more formally trained physicians, barbers stepped into the breach, applying their steady hands to a range of medical procedures. Perhaps you can picture yourself witnessing a bloodletting session, a common practice aimed at balancing the humors believed to govern the body's health. The barber, with practiced ease, makes a small incision, allowing blood to flow into a shallow basin, a sight both curious and unsettling in its simplicity. To the medieval mind, such procedures were vital, thought to purge maladies and restore equilibrium. But the barber's duties did not end with the physical. He was also a keeper of stories, a confidant to whom villagers entrusted their tales and troubles. In a world where literacy was a luxury, the barber's shop was a place where news traveled and knowledge was shared. Patrons would gather, swapping stories of distant lands, local happenings, or the latest court intrigue, all while awaiting their turn in the chair. Imagine the conversations you might overhear, a blend of gossip, advice, and folklore. The barber's skill at listening was as crucial as his skill with a razor, fostering connections and imparting wisdom woven through generations. In this way, barbers acted as social glue, their shops vibrant centers of community life. The barber's educational journey was often informal yet rigorous, passed down through apprenticeships. Young barbers learned by watching and doing, absorbing the knowledge of their mentors through hands-on experience. They honed their craft through trial and error, earning the trust of their community with each successful procedure. Over time, this practical knowledge was sometimes supplemented by treatises and manuals, which circulated among those keen to learn more about the art of healing. As you ponder the life of a medieval barber, consider the challenges they faced, navigating the intersection of science and superstition, dealing with the unpredictability of health, and managing the expectations of their community. It was a role fraught with responsibility, requiring an astute understanding of both human nature and the physical body. Yet it was also a role filled with moments of profound satisfaction. In a world where medical outcomes were uncertain, even a small success could ripple through a community, strengthening the bonds of trust and respect. The barber's ability to alleviate pain, whether through a soothing shave or a well-timed intervention, was a source of relief and gratitude. Stepping back into the present, you carry with you the image of the medieval barber as a multifaceted figure, an artisan, a healer, and a social linchpin. Their contribution to medieval society was invaluable, bridging gaps and fostering unity in a time when life was often unpredictable. The legacy of these early barbers can still be felt today, in the enduring tradition of barbershops as communal spaces where personal grooming and social connection meet. The tools and techniques may have evolved, but the essence of the barber's role in nurturing community spirit remains unchanged, reminding us of the timeless human need for both care and connection. As you leave the shop and wander back through the village, the echoes of lively conversation and the hum of daily life stay with you, a testament to the enduring influence of those who skillfully bridged the worlds of craft and care. The transformation and legacy of medieval barbers. As you gently close the pages of history, the world of the medieval barber unfolds like a well-worn tapestry, revealing a vibrant and continually evolving profession. In this final section, we journey through the transformation and legacy of these multifaceted artisans, who once stood at the bustling crossroads of medicine, grooming, and community life. Picture yourself in a time when the barber was more than just a craftsman. He was a pivotal figure in the social fabric of medieval towns and villages. As populations grew and cities expanded, the role of the barber began to shift, evolving to meet the needs of an increasingly complex society. Let's explore how these changes unfolded over time and the lasting impact they had on the world we know today. In the late medieval period, we see a gradual separation between the roles of barber and surgeon. As medical knowledge advanced, the distinction between those who focused on beauty and grooming and those who practiced surgery and dentistry became more pronounced. This shift was driven by a growing desire for specialization in medical practices, which led to the establishment of guilds and regulatory bodies that sought to define and control the scope of various professions. Imagine stepping into a bustling town square in the 14th century, where the barber's pole still spins in the wind, yet the sign above the shop reads "Barber Surgeon." As guilds emerged, they began to formalize the training and skills required of barber surgeons, and those who excelled in surgery started to gain recognition and status in society. This separation didn't just elevate the status of surgeons, but it also allowed barbers to focus more on their unique blend of services, honing their craft in grooming and personal care. As the Renaissance dawned, bringing with it a new wave of scientific inquiry and artistic expression, the transformation of the barber's role continued. Advances in medical science during this period increasingly distanced surgery from the realm of barbering, yet the influence of barbers remained strong. They continued to serve as important community figures, providing a space for social interaction where news and ideas were exchanged, and where the art of conversation was as important as the art of the shave. Now transport yourself to a barbershop in the heart of a vibrant city during the Renaissance. The shop is a hub of activity, filled with the laughter and chatter of customers who gather not just for a shave or haircut, but to share stories and learn the latest news. The barber, with his deft hands and keen ear, is at the center of it all, an enduring pillar of the community. Over time, the legacy of the medieval barber became woven into the very fabric of society. The skills and traditions of these early practitioners laid the groundwork for modern grooming professions. The barber's pole, with its iconic red and white stripes, remains a symbol of this rich history, representing the dual nature of the barber's past, where the science of healing once met the art of grooming. Today, as you walk through the doors of a contemporary barbershop, you step into a space that is both timeless and modern, a place where the echoes of history resonate in every snip of the scissors and buzz of the razor. The legacy of the medieval barber lives on, not just in the tools of the trade, but in the spirit of connectivity and community that continues to define the barbering experience. So, as we conclude our exploration, take a moment to reflect on the enduring impact of the medieval barber. From the bustling streets of ancient towns to the polished floors of today's shops, the essence of the barber remains, a testament to the ever-evolving yet timeless nature of this cherished profession. With a final nod to the past, you can now appreciate how the humble medieval barber was a pioneer of personal care, a master of many trades, and a keeper of community spirit. Their influence is still felt today, a reminder of a time when the barber was a beacon of service and connection in the heart of every town and village. The evolving role of barbers in society. As the medieval period progressed, barbers found themselves becoming indispensable members of society. Their roles expanded well beyond simple hair-cutting tasks. Imagine walking through a bustling medieval market square, the air a medley of sounds and scents, vendors hawking their goods, the sharp tang of fresh produce, and the metallic clink of coins exchanging hands. Amidst this tapestry of life, you notice the iconic red and white pole spinning lazily in front of a barber's shop. It's a beacon, signaling that within this establishment, a unique blend of artistry and practicality awaits. In the Middle Ages, a trip to the barber was as much a social event as it was a necessity. With few entertainment options, people sought connection and news wherever they could find it. Stepping into the barber's shop, you would immediately be enveloped by a vibrant atmosphere, patrons discussing the latest village gossip, political intrigue, or recent events from far-off lands. The barber would weave through this lively discourse, performing his duties with an attentive ear and a steady hand. The familiarity of the barber's shop also offered a comforting rhythm to daily life. It was a place where villagers from different walks of life converged, a farmer seeking relief from a splitting headache, a merchant needing a clean shave before a long journey, and even a young squire, eager for advice before joining his lord in battle. Each visit was an opportunity to connect, to learn, and to experience the unique camaraderie that the barber fostered within his walls. But the role of the barber was not static. It evolved with the changing tides of history. As the Middle Ages advanced into the Renaissance, a renewed emphasis on learning and science began to make its mark on the barbering profession. Barbers who were once generalists, tending to a variety of needs, now saw an opportunity to specialize and refine their skills. Schools and guilds began to emerge, dedicated to teaching the art and craft of barbering. These institutions emphasized not only the practical aspects of the trade, but also the importance of hygiene and the burgeoning knowledge of human anatomy. The merging of barbering with medicine led to a more formalized apprenticeship system. Aspiring barbers would study under the watchful eye of a master barber, absorbing both the technical skills and the bedside manner necessary to earn the trust of their clients. This structured learning environment was critical in ensuring that barbers remained competent and capable, able to handle the increasingly complex demands of their patrons. The distinctive red and white pole, still a symbol of the trade today, reflects this dual nature of the medieval barber. The red, representing blood, highlights the barber's role in bloodletting and surgery, while the white symbolizes the bandages used to bind wounds and promote healing. It is a visual reminder of the barber's unique position at the intersection of beauty and wellness, an artisan and a healer, all in one. As you continue to explore the rich tapestry of the medieval barbering profession, it's essential to recognize its lasting impact on the present day. The seeds of the modern salon and the professional medical field were planted in these humble, bustling shops. Today's barbers and hairstylists are the inheritors of a tradition that values both skill and service, a legacy that echoes with the voices of medieval barbers who once deftly wielded their razors and shears. Reflecting on the life of a medieval barber, one can appreciate the remarkable adaptability and resilience that these individuals embodied. They navigated the challenges of their time with creativity and ingenuity, contributing to the health and happiness of their communities. Whether providing a soothing shave or a life-saving surgical procedure, the medieval barber was a vital part of the social fabric, a testament to the enduring human spirit. As you draw this journey to a close, envision yourself stepping back out into the medieval street, the echoes of lively conversations and the hum of the barber's skillful hands still resonating in your ears. The world outside the barber's shop is teeming with possibilities, and you carry with you a newfound appreciation for the rich history and evolution of this fascinating profession. Awaiting continue. The transformation of barbers under Renaissance influence. As the medieval era gradually transitioned into the Renaissance, the landscape surrounding the barber-surgeon profession began to shift significantly. Imagine yourself as a medieval barber in a bustling town, the air thick with the aroma of bustling markets and the distant chatter of townsfolk going about their daily lives. The dawn of the Renaissance brought with it a renewed interest in the exploration of science, art, and the human body, as well as a slow but steady evolution in medical practices. This changing milieu called for an adaptation of traditional roles, which included that of the barber. During this transformative period, you, as the medieval barber, would start to witness advancements trickling down from the great medical schools burgeoning in cities like Bologna and Montpellier. Scholars and physicians began to push the boundaries of traditional medical knowledge, which had long been dominated by the teachings of Galen and Hippocrates. This new wave of intellectual curiosity might initially seem daunting, but also exhilarating, a chance to expand your skills and understanding of the human body. You begin noticing a shift in the types of clients seeking your services. It's no longer only the local townsfolk who walk through your door, but also travelers passing through, scholars with earnest faces, and perhaps even a nobleman on occasion, all seeking not just a haircut or a bloodletting, but knowledgeable advice on health matters too. You see this as an opportunity to enhance your craft, perhaps even to elevate your status in society. In this Renaissance backdrop, there is a notable evolution in medical knowledge that requires adaptation from those in your profession. You might find yourself increasingly interested in the anatomical studies being published, the most famous being Andreas Vesalius's De Humani Corporis Fabrica, which corrected many of the anatomical errors propagated for centuries. Even if obtaining such a tome might be out of reach, rumors and summaries of these works would filter down to your level, perhaps through curious apprentices or traveling merchants. As you stand in your shop, maybe with a razor in one hand and a comb in the other, you ponder how to incorporate this new knowledge into your daily practice. You might decide to focus more on hygiene, inspired by the new understanding that cleanliness can prevent infections. This would set you apart from other barbers who are slower to adapt, potentially gaining you a reputation for reliability and safety. Barbers during the Renaissance also began to form guilds more formally, paving the way for standardization in quality and practice. Imagine attending a gathering of fellow barber surgeons, exchanging stories of difficult amputations, sharing tips on efficient bloodletting techniques, or discussing the latest herbal remedies brought by traders from distant lands. These experiences would not only broaden your expertise, but also strengthen your sense of belonging to a community of professionals. Furthermore, the Renaissance era saw the development of dedicated surgical tools and the refinement of existing ones. You as a barber would likely take great care in maintaining and upgrading your instruments, recognizing their importance in successfully performing your expanding array of services. The emergence of new tools designed specifically for surgical operations might initially seem intimidating, but as you become familiar with them, they would become invaluable allies in your trade. As you reflect on these changes, you might also notice a shift in public perception. While the medieval barber was often viewed as a necessary, albeit lower-tier component of healthcare, the Renaissance barber surgeon began to gain a degree of respectability. This respect was not only due to improved practices and outcomes, but also the profession's closer alignment with emerging medical science. With these changing times, your role as a barber transitions from a simple provider of grooming and basic medical services to becoming a key figure in your community's health and well-being. Your shop becomes a hub of knowledge and skill, a place where the ancient practices of the past meet the burgeoning scientific inquiries of the future. This blending of old and new allows you to cater to a wider array of needs, from the aesthetic to the medical. In conclusion, being a barber at the cusp of the medieval and Renaissance periods represents a unique chapter in the history of this profession. It encapsulates a time of adaptation, learning, and growth. As you wipe down your well-used chair at the end of a long day, the future seems promising, filled with opportunities to improve not only your craft, but also the lives of those who place their trust in your capable hands. The transformation that begins in this era sets the stage for the eventual separation of the barber and surgeon roles, a significant milestone in medical history. Reflect on the journey from medieval to Renaissance and realize that while the tools and knowledge may evolve, the heart of the profession, caring for people, remains timeless. The intricacies of medieval barbershop hygiene. As you step back into the flickering candlelit ambiance of a medieval barber's shop, let your mind wander through the hum and buzz of that vibrant yet peculiar world, a place where the sharp edge of a razor met the tender trust of a community. Picture the modest wooden room, cluttered yet purposeful, illuminated by the soft glow of beeswax candles casting warm, undulating shadows on stone walls. The scent of aromatic herbs hangs in the air, a blend of rosemary, thyme, and mint, masking less savory odors and soothing the souls of those seeking refuge from the bustling world outside. In this section, we delve into the routines and practices of hygiene that characterize the life of a medieval barber, a fascinating blend of practicality and superstition, where the very instruments of trade required meticulous care and attention. The tools of a medieval barber were simple yet sophisticated, each with a distinct purpose. Among the array, you'd find razors forged from sturdy iron, their blades kept sharp with careful honing on a whetstone. Combs crafted from bone or wood, each tooth smoothed meticulously to prevent snags in hair, were essential for untangling and styling. Scissors, although basic by today's standards, were forged with precision to meet the demands of diverse tasks, from trimming beards to shaping fabrics. The razor, however, stood paramount in the barber's arsenal. It was more than just a tool. It was a symbol of trust and skill. Maintaining its sharpness was a ritual in itself, for a dull blade could spell disaster. Barbers would often employ a leather strop to keep the edge keen, a practice still revered in today's traditional shaving rituals. Hygiene, while rudimentary by modern standards, was nonetheless a cornerstone of a barber's practice. In an era where notions of cleanliness were not as comprehensively understood, barbers devised their own methods to ensure a semblance of sanitation. Tools were frequently rinsed in basins of water, sometimes infused with vinegar or aromatic herbs, believed to possess cleansing properties. This rudimentary sterilization was not only pragmatic but also comforting, invoking a sense of care and attention to detail. The barber's chair, often a simple wooden affair, became a throne of sorts, where a man would sit and allow another to wield a razor near his throat. This act of trust was profound, and the relationship between barber and client often extended beyond mere service. It was a bond forged in vulnerability and skill. The barber's deft hands would dance with precision, the scrape of the blade against skin a rhythmic lullaby amidst the chatter and bustle of daily life. In the medieval mindset, health and hygiene extended beyond the corporeal. Superstitions intertwined with practicalities, guiding barbers in their duties. It was not uncommon for incantations or prayers to accompany a shave or a haircut, invoking protection from malevolent forces thought to lurk unseen. Such rituals, while viewed as quaint today, were deeply woven into the fabric of medieval life, a testament to the interplay of belief and practice. As you imagine the scene, consider the barber's role in public health, a responsibility that extended beyond grooming. Barbers often doubled as surgeons, a dual profession born of necessity rather than choice. Known as barber surgeons, they performed tasks ranging from bloodletting to dental extractions, displaying a versatility that spoke to the limited medical understanding of the time. The practice of bloodletting, in particular, was rooted in the belief of balancing the body's humors. It was thought that expelling a small amount of blood could remedy ailments and restore equilibrium. As you visualize the barber's careful incision, let your thoughts linger on the murmurs of trust and trepidation that must have filled the room, a place where the line between healing and harm was as fine as the blade itself. Despite the rudimentary nature of these procedures, barbers were often regarded with respect, their skills indispensable to the well-being of the community. In a world where professional medical care was scarce, the barber surgeon was a lifeline, a testament to human resilience and adaptability in the face of limited knowledge. Imagine the conversations that might have unfolded in that intimate space, the exchange of stories and news, the laughter and camaraderie punctuating the air with vibrant energy. The medieval barbershop, while humble in its trappings, was a hub of social interaction, a place where men gathered not only to be groomed, but also to connect and share in the human experience. As you step out into the cobblestone streets, leaving behind the comforting warmth of the barbershop, take with you an appreciation for the artful balance of skill and superstition, of trust and tradition that defined the life of a medieval barber. It was a world where the simple act of grooming became a dance, a delicate interplay of blade and belief, leaving a legacy that continues to shape the contours of our modern-day rituals. And now, dear viewer, as you return to the present, let the echoes of that distant past linger in your mind, a testament to the enduring human spirit, forever resilient and endlessly curious, always seeking the perfect blend of care and craftsmanship in the art of the everyday. The Renaissance of barber surgeons and their enduring legacy. Imagine yourself in the bustling streets of a late medieval town, where the boundaries between professions were as fluid as the barber's steady hand over a patron's eager scalp. As you walk past the wooden stalls and stone shops, the familiar red and white pole of the barber calls out to you, an emblem of both trust and transformation. This was a time when barbers were more than mere hair cutters. They were artisans of the human body, sculptors of well-being, and, intriguingly, the precursors to modern-day surgeons. As the Middle Ages progressed, barbers assumed an increasingly pivotal role in society, evolving into the multifaceted professionals known as barber surgeons. These individuals were not only responsible for cutting hair and shaving beards, but also for performing complex surgical procedures that were essential to the health care of their communities. The evolution of the barber surgeon is a testament to human ingenuity and adaptability, illustrating how necessity often drives innovation. In this dynamic environment, the barber surgeons developed a repertoire of skills that went well beyond the mundane. They were called upon to lance boils, extract teeth, and even amputate limbs, all while maintaining a poised demeanor. With rudimentary tools and minimal formal training, these practitioners relied heavily on apprenticeship and hands-on experience. The barber surgeons' guilds began to form in the late medieval period, standardizing practices and fostering a spirit of cooperation and learning among these skilled artisans. Imagine the interior of a barber surgeon's shop, an eclectic mix of wooden chairs, leather straps, and shining blades. The walls are lined with shelves holding mysterious jars of herbs and salves, while a small fire crackles in the corner, heating water for a poultice or a soothing drink. The air is infused with the scent of rosemary and lavender, intended to calm the nerves of those waiting their turn. Here, amidst this sensory tapestry, the barber surgeon plies his trade, an embodiment of trustworthiness and dexterity. As you take a seat in the barber's chair, you notice the barber surgeon's steady hands and calm disposition. The chair itself, sturdy and well used, is a symbol of the barber surgeon's trade, a throne of sorts, where commoners and nobility alike entrust their health and appearance. With a confident smile, he assures you that you are in capable hands. Today, perhaps, it is not a tooth extraction or surgery you seek, but a simple haircut, and yet the same careful attention is applied. Barbers in medical practice. While barbers were not considered physicians, their work was nonetheless integral to the medical practices of the time. Physicians were educated in universities, but their numbers were few, and their services often expensive. Barber surgeons filled the gap, providing accessible care to the masses. They performed what physicians often deemed menial work, yet their hands-on experience made them adept at diagnosing and treating common ailments. You learn that as the Renaissance dawned, so too did an age of enlightenment for the barber surgeons. Medical knowledge began to flourish anew, ushered in by the rediscovery of classical texts and the advancement of human anatomy. Barber surgeons were at the forefront of this revolution, blending traditional methods with new insights to improve their practices. It was during this time that the bifurcation of the barber and surgical professions gradually began, though the two would remain intertwined for centuries. In the serene ambience of the shop, you overhear conversations about pioneering figures such as Ambroise Paré, one of the most renowned barber surgeons of the Renaissance. Known for his innovative techniques and compassionate care, Paré's influence extended far and wide, elevating the status of barber surgeons and contributing significantly to the advancement of surgical practices. His legacy, like the sturdy barber's chair, provided a foundation for future developments in medicine. As the session concludes, the barber surgeon offers you a final glimpse into the future of his profession. He speaks of the gradual emergence of formalized medical schools and the eventual delineation between barbers and surgeons. Yet, even as these changes unfold, the essence of the barber surgeon endures, a testament to the necessity and resilience of their role in history. You leave the shop with a renewed appreciation for the medieval barber surgeon, a figure who, despite the constraints of his time, shaped the trajectory of medical practice through innovation and dedication. His legacy is one of ingenuity and adaptability, qualities that continue to inspire modern medicine. As you step back into the vibrant streets, the red and white pole still spins in your mind's eye, a timeless symbol of a profession that was once a cornerstone of community health. The story of the medieval barber surgeon is a reminder that history is not just a series of events, but a tapestry woven from the lives and contributions of those who dared to harmonize art and science, skill and compassion. The instruments of a medieval barber. As you continue your journey through the bustling streets of a medieval town, your curiosity leads you to a small wooden structure marked with the iconic sign of a barber, a pole spiraled with red and white stripes. This humble establishment is a hub of activity, a place where more than just hair is trimmed and styled. Step inside and you'll find yourself immersed in a world where practical necessities meet burgeoning science, and where the barber's tools are his trusted allies in a diverse array of services. In the dimly lit room, sunlight streams through small glassless windows, casting a gentle glow upon a well-worn wooden bench. This is where clients sit, their anticipation palpable as they await the skilled hands of the town's barber. The air is filled with the earthy scent of wood and the faint metallic tang of freshly sharpened steel. The centerpiece of this space is the barber's table, a sturdy piece of furniture laden with an eclectic collection of instruments, each with its own distinct purpose and history. Let's take a closer look at these fascinating tools, as they offer a glimpse into the multifaceted role of the medieval barber. First, your eyes are drawn to a set of razors, their blades gleaming despite the passage of time. Constructed with precision, these razors are crucial for the delicate art of shaving, a daily ritual for many men of the era. The smooth, sharp edge glides effortlessly over the skin, wielded with the practiced hand of a craftsman who knows the subtleties of his trade. The handles, often made from bone or wood, are designed to fit comfortably in the barber's grasp, allowing for both finesse and control. Next to the razors lies an assortment of shears and scissors, indispensable for the barber's primary function, cutting and styling hair. The shears are robust, able to tackle even the thickest locks with ease. They are the tools of transformation, used to craft the elaborate hairstyles favored by the fashionable and the elite, as well as the simpler, more practical cuts for the common folk. Amidst the cutting tools, you'll find a curious array of lancets and scalpels, hinting at the barber's role as a medical practitioner. These instruments are used for bloodletting, a common medical procedure of the time believed to balance the body's humors and promote health. The lancets are slender and sharp, designed to make precise incisions, while the scalpels are more substantial, used in minor surgeries or for lancing boils and abscesses. Nearby, a mortar and pestle sit atop the table, coated with the residue of herbs and concoctions. The barber, often doubling as an apothecary, grinds medicinal herbs to create salves and ointments, offering a touch of healing alongside his grooming services. These preparations are used to treat a variety of ailments, from skin conditions to sore throats, showcasing the barber's versatility and his role as a caregiver to the community. In the corner stands a tall, narrow cabinet, its shelves lined with glass jars and bottles, each containing mysterious liquids and powders. Some hold fragrant oils used to condition hair and beard, while others contain potent elixirs and tinctures, remedies for those in need of a quick restorative. The barber's knowledge of these substances is extensive, a testament to his status as a learned man in a time when formal education was a rarity. The tools are meticulously organized, each in its designated place, reflecting the barber's pride in his work and his respect for the craft. In this small room, these instruments become extensions of the barber's skill, enabling him to serve his patrons with precision and care. As you observe the barber at work, deftly wielding his tools, you sense the rhythm of his practice, a graceful dance of hands and steel, honed over years of experience. The barber moves with confidence, his every action deliberate and purposeful. Whether he is sculpting a noble's coiffure, shaving a merchant's beard, or tending to a peasant's wound, his focus never wavers. Clients come and go, each leaving with a sense of renewal, the burden of daily life momentarily lifted through the barber's ministrations. The atmosphere is one of camaraderie and trust, a testament to the barber's integral role within the fabric of medieval society. In this small, unassuming space, the barber's tools are not just instruments. They are symbols of a time when the lines between professions were blurred, and a single individual could embody both the art of grooming and the science of healing. They are a reminder of the barber's unique position as a custodian of personal care and well-being. As you step back into the bustling streets, the image of the medieval barber and his tools remains with you, a snapshot of a world where skill and ingenuity intersect, where tradition and innovation coexist, and where the simple act of visiting a barber is an encounter with history itself.